Good afternoon. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing. With today's closing grain and livestock comments, we'll get to the prices in a minute. I wanted to lead off with crop conditions for corn, which while they dropped a bit nationwide, if you look at the I states, they all went up by about 1%. So it's kind of a mixed bag there. Iowa has the best crop rating it has for this time of the year in the last 28 years, going back to 1994. I saw that statistics and I had to share it with you. It is 87% good to excellent, which is um, a bit of a record. So it's going to be a big crop. We all know it's going to be a big crop. That is what is leaning on these prices. These corn, and we're going to get to the end of day prices right now. December corn finished down 5 cents at 414. Remember, the big level to watch is 407 and a half. That is the contract low. We got as low as 412 and 3/4 last night, so within a nickel away. My guess is after this crop condition report, they may take a shot at those lows overnight. New crop soybeans finished the day down 9.5 cents at 1011 and a half. The number to worry about is 998. If that fails, that's going to be a 4-month low, and we're not that far away. We're 14 cents away from there. So grains under pressure. We've had a couple opportunities earlier in the year to have done something, but like everything else in life, hindsight is 2020, and I don't like to go back and say the what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda game. What I think if you're a producer right now, what you have to deal with is defending what you can. This, like I said, this is like a knife fight in trench warfare. You got to defend $4 new crop corn. You've got to defend at least $10 beans, and that's just the best that the market is letting us do right now. And that's my opinion, and that's been my opinion really, sadly, for the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks. For a little bit there, we got a little bit of a head fake in June. We thought we were gonna maybe turn around and go. Same thing in April. April, we got a little head fake. It looked like we were gonna go, and Mr. Market has just continued to lean on this market for fundamental reasons. I mean, there's plenty of corn out there. There's plenty of corn coming up in South America. South American corn is cheaper than our corn. China is kind of sitting in the catbird seat when it comes to soybeans because they had such a big crop in South America, not only in corn, but also in beans. Now they are going to have to step in and buy beans from us. The question is, I mean, if you're a buyer and you see that you're, very close to making 4-month lows, if not contract lows again, if we go down much sharply below 998, 999, you're going to be talking about where we were back in December, possibly. Of course, you're going to hang on and wait and see. Just let it breathe, right? That was the expression. Let it breathe. If you're a producer, you're fighting tooth and nail to make sure you defend whatever revenue you can at this point. And the key is you don't overspend trying to do that. So it's a kind of a dicey walk to do. If you're working with a risk manager or a broker who understands how to use these options, it can help quite a bit, in my opinion. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to educate yourself. But that is the strategy that I would be looking at if I was a producer. I just woke up and I hadn't sold anything or hedged anything all year and say, well, what do we do now? I would defend $4. I would defend $10, and I would hope that we get some sort of a recovery between now and certainly going into harvest. But you can't bank on that. Wheat also under pressure. KC wheat down a half cent, but it's 40 with 515. It finished the day down a half cent at 526 even. If it takes out 515, that's going to be sort of headline news. That'll be new contract low. Minneapolis wheat did make a new contract low today, 580 and 3/4, and we finished the day at 581 and a half. So it did finish a penny off the low, but at the end of the day, that's not much of a saving grace for anybody that's long spring wheat without a hedge. Chicago wheat did manage one of the few green closes on the screen, up a quarter cent. Yay. 538 and a half. The number to watch there is about 20 cents below that 521, which was the May low. Go back to May 13th, 521 and a quarter. So if we can turn something around here, great. If not, make sure you keep your downside protected with some sort of a put, some sort of a hedge. Let's move over to the cattle. After gapping open higher and then filling the gap, August fat cattle finished the day up 1.4 pennies at 227.87. December, fat cattle, 225.35. I can remember 15 years ago when people were happy to protect 80-cent fat cattle. So when I see this, it just, I'm sure you feel the same way out there. It's been one of the most bodacious rallies that we've seen really in commodity history. Go back to the contract lows there during COVID, and it's been nothing but up and to the right, up and to the right, um, like Superman pulling a freight train. Now we have had corrections, and that's really what we're here to do, right? When's the correction going to come? I have no idea. If you want to defend revenue, you need to have a trailing stop, or the trailing stop, which I like to use, is a put option, because you set the floor and cattle keeps going higher, great. If they hit a trap door, that put option suddenly becomes your very best friend. So the strategy hasn't changed, even though the market has been, um, completely bullish for quite some time. So look at feeder cattle. We did finish the day up 215, 333 and a half is where we settled for August. The high was almost 336. We settled above 336. We're going to start talking about 350 feeder cattle. I know that sounds crazy. I was on Market to Market back in November, and they were saying, "Are we ever going to see $3 feeder cattle?" So never say never, but certainly just with the numerical progression, the market's trying to find that equilibrium, keeps plowing higher. 36 opens the door to 40, and then as soon as that happens, you're going to have people talking about 350 feeder cattle. Now, can something happen tomorrow and the bottom fall out? Sure. We saw that back in April when the stock market corrected, put a lot of pressure on, at least for a couple days, on cattle, put a lot of pressure on lean hogs. And lean hogs and cattle all have recovered with the stock market, but that's probably your biggest risk moving forward, quite honestly. The American uh, shopper is going to continue to go to, a discount grocery store and pay 15 bucks a pound for steak. Then where the proof is of the pudding. If the demand stays, the price will stay. Finishing up with lean hogs. October lean hogs finished the day up almost at 91, almost on its highs, up about 30 cents up. And what level were we looking at there in October? You got to remember back in June, we traded as high as 97. I would imagine that if this contract continues to chase cattle, that's got to be the next target on the bulls list. The same idea for lean hogs, though. You need to have a trailing stop, either with a put option. I prefer a put option because if you use the futures, you can get whipsawed, then you get margin calls and everything else. So keep that put there. Once you put it on the books, it can't. If you buy it, if you're long a put, it's not going to throw off any margin calls, no matter how high the price of lean hogs go. But the day we have the correction, all of a sudden those puts start gaining money. And if you're new to using options, if you want to learn more, it's exactly what I do. A lot of my clients have had no experience with using options before. If they come to work with me, they learn as they go. I make suggestions. The client makes decisions. So if you're looking for help, maybe it's a set of fresh eyes for your marketing, give me a call. 312-638-8868. You can find me online, Robinson Ag Marketing. I will do these daily updates. We'll do the noon update and then the closing update every day here on Spotify and Apple, and that'll be the free part of the operation. If you do become a client, if you want to become a client, if you want to get specific details about what we're doing, why I'm doing it, why my suggestions are, I do 2 podcasts. Those are with videos. Twice a week, I talk about both the livestock and the row crops, and I also talk about specific hedges. So one's about price trends, the other one is about specific hedges, and that helps me stay in touch with all my clients. Sometimes it's busy during the day and don't get a chance to reach out to somebody, and they want to know, well, why does Chris want to do this? Why does Chris want to do that? Having that format for subscribers lets me have a kind of a classroom where I can explain to you what we're doing. So look forward to hearing from you. Have a great rest of the night. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing.